So, one of the things that I normally hold back on recording videos is because it's my vanity, I suppose. My hair doesn't look right, I look like a mess or whatever. But I've come to realise over the last few days that it's the message that's important, it's not the way I'm looking on camera. I just had a few thoughts about the referendum that just took place in Scotland, and emotionally I'm upset that the yeses didn't win. There's been some videos showing this, that and the next thing, but that aside, it's more a case of looking at it from a marketing perspective, because that's what it comes down to. Why is it that the No campaign won over the Yes campaign? And the simple fact of the matter is they had a better message to connect with the electorate. The Yes campaign, headed by Alex Salmond, who did a tremendous job, but I think at the end of the day there was too many if, whys, whats, unanswered questions about the currency, pensions. I read somewhere this afternoon that one of the reasons why the Yes campaign lost was because the pensioners were scared they were going to lose their pension, so they took the safe option, went for no. So when it came down to it, the marketing message was garbled, it was messed up, and it wasn't believable. The other element being that the marketing message of the Yes campaign was backed by the power and the finances of Westminster. They had big business on board as well. They had international heads of business all backing the Better Together or the No campaign. They had, I won't say they had them in their pocket, but they certainly had access to the media, the press. They were printing scare stories. RBS moving their headquarters down to London, which was then interpreted by the press that they're moving their operations to London, and that would have been about 70,000 staff, 70,000 job losses in Scotland. But again, that wasn't the truth, it was manipulation and all the rest of it. The really sad thing is that it was manipulation of information that's contributed to where we are now. We were promised by the three party leaders that there would be more powers devolved to Scotland. Now, we've seen the Tories do this. The Tories, by the way, for non-UK residents, the Tories are the Conservatives, and they shafted us royally back in the 70s and 80s. But the lesson wasn't learned, either that or the chance of getting shafted seemed more attractive to the voters than the potential disaster that the No campaign were painting for if we voted SNP. So again, the message was messed up from the Yes campaign. The No's, or the Better Together campaign, had the power to, let's say, leverage the media and the press, so they got the outcome that they wanted. And now, within 24 hours of the voting finished, effectively we have now seen Alex Salmond, our First Minister, tender his resignation. He's not going to stand again in the re-voting for the head of the SNP, or the Scottish Parliament. We've also heard, not Nick Clegg, what's his name? Ed Miliband, the leader of the Labour Party, say that he can't stand by the promises that Cameron has made for the vows that could have potentially swung the vote. We've also had Alex Salmond saying that David Cameron, head of the Conservatives, is showing all the signs of going against what he agreed to as well. So it was at that point I thought to myself, that's quite interesting, because it's kind of like in the marketplace online, where the smaller fish, me for example, selling quality products, but I don't have the marketing, the exposure, the budget to connect with a large audience. Therefore, the people that do get my stuff are happy with what they get and they want more. However, when you have now be careful with my words here, you have some of the bigger marketers who, shall we say, some of them release products that promise the world and they turn out to be a complete and utter pile of shite. But because they've got the budget, they've got the network, they've got the exposure, their product goes on to sell thousands, if not tens of thousands of units. So I think there's a very strong, a very direct connection between what happened in the referendum in Scotland and what happens online in marketing as well. It all comes down to budget, it comes down to exposure. Believability is definitely a factor as well. But I think the wider you can cast your net, then you know the more possibilities, the higher chance that you're going to get the result that you're after. Hopefully the motivation of recording this video has came across in my message. I truly hope so anyway. Otherwise I've just wasted nearly 6 minutes of your time. But anyway, I thought it was worth sharing my thoughts on that, and thanks for watching. I'd love to hear what your comments are, if you have any, so you know, feel free to leave them below the video. Okay, take care, cheers, bye.